This has become a familiar sight at Manukau Stadium. Bob Bond leading Bright Star back to the dais after another sprint victory. But there's much more to the Bond story. Few would have seen him on a horse that went into the Guinness Book of Records. Nor here, at home in England behind the wheel of his first car, a 1936 Morris 8, a real chick magnet. And how many know of Bond being ambushed while doing his military service for Queen and Country? There have been a few legends about the Waikato trainer, so Dog Zone sat him down to join the dots on an adventurous life. Bond's origins in Suffolk weren't far removed from Cambridge, the university town that shares the name of his current home. It was as an 18-year-old that Bond acquired his first greyhound called Brown Owl.
Well, it was about 50 years or so ago. It was in England, and I answered an advert for someone trying to give a greyhound away, and it all started from there, basically. And I was keen on coursing in those days, and then a friend one day said, "Why don't you race it?" Which I did, and unfortunately, I suppose it won, and then from then onwards I was hooked.
So you got the bug after that?
I got the bug.
The racing had to go on hold for 2 years while Bond did his national service with the Suffolk Regiment. He landed in the Mediterranean hotspot of Cyprus, where a nationalist movement wanted to end British rule. It almost ended Bond's racing career before it really started. His truck was ambushed by guerrillas and peppered with gunfire. A metal shard from the bullet hole in the door left Bond with a scar he doesn't care to show in polite company. Bond survived his army duties but soon found a new commander.
When I came out of the army, I got married, and my wife, she was keen on horses, and that was another devilment to get into. We ended up racing and buying horses, and like I say, instead of working, I was spending more time with horses than I was at my job.
Bond says it was Ormond Prince, seen here on the left, with Bond the rider, owner and trainer, that put him into the Guinness Book of Records.
We bought an old horse, next steeplechaser, that it came from Ireland. We bought it at the Ascot Sales in England, and let's say that we raced him from then onwards till he was 23, and I rode him right at the end in the hunt race, and with 12 stone 7 we won, and I think to this day it's in the Guinness Book of Records.
So the horse was 23?
He was 23 when he won, after with 12 stone 7 and 3.5 miles.
Bond loves a flutter, and that brought problems with the family and the bookies.
I got into trouble with them because over there you could run credit, and of course if I couldn't pay, then I had to take off time from work to go and work for the bookmakers at the races.
Another of those urban legends has Bond having to resort to horseback to flee the bookies at one meeting. A move to a new life in New Zealand in the 70s rekindled Bond's interest in greyhounds. The steel mill at Waiuku had a group of enthusiasts, and Bond has been training and breeding ever since. The company of other greyhound people is just as important to Bond as the racing.
I've never had animosity between beating someone or being beaten by anybody, and it's just the excitement of it, and you never know really if you're going to win a race or be beaten. There's so many things that can happen in a race that can kill the chances of a really good dog, and possibly a dog with little hope comes through and wins it.
Bond is well aware of the highs and lows involved in racing. It's taken him a long time to find a champion like Bright Star, who has her own fan club at Manukau.
She swings in front. Go, little babe. She'll get you home again. Bright Star just.
What I've got now, you know, everyone takes the mickey out of me. I don't mind. I always wanted a V8, and people say, "Oh, is it on HP?" I said, "No." And I said, "You don't own it. Whose is it?" I said, "The dog owns it, because she paid for it." I make no bones about it.
And inside as well, I see you've got a bit of an area for all the achievements as well. Are those mainly Bright Star, or are there a few other ones along the way too?
There's a few from way back.
Yeah.
But, you know, the 90% of the collection is due to her doings.
Bond's interest in animals extends beyond greyhounds and horses. The Cambridge property has plenty of the feathered variety as well.
I've always been fond of animals. I was brought up in the country and all I know is animals. My father said to me I wasn't allowed to have my breakfast till all the animals had had their food. And I've abided by that rule ever since.
Bond and Bright Star could be viewed as senior citizens of the track these days. But there's still plenty of energy in both of these veterans, and the Manukau fan club can look forward to cheering them on to more race victories.